Nope, I agree. Senator Hassan.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chair and Ranking Member Fetterman. And I have a series of questions. I did want to just offer to Senator Marino, there is real bipartisan interest in dealing and tackling with waste, fraud, and abuse. I will say one of the most important things we do in the government is have independent, nonpartisan inspectors general. The HHS Inspector General in 2023 or 2024, I think, recovered $400 million from a fraudulent medical equipment scam. That person was fired early in this administration. So I think there are a number of things we ought to be working together on and going after, especially the big ticket items here, which often is corporate fraud waged against the government. And I'd look forward to working on that with you. Comptroller General Dodaro, as this will be your final appearance before this committee, I want to begin by thanking you for your decades of service and for GAO's role as Congress's independent, nonpartisan watchdog. Just in your testimony today, you've reflected the importance of professional, nonpartisan civil servants and public servants, and we are really grateful to you and your entire team. Under your leadership, GAO has performed independent, fact-based oversight of the executive branch. That role is especially critical right now as Congress grapples with a number of challenging issues, such as impoundment and access to agency information. What advice do you have for Congress as we work to preserve and strengthen GAO's ability to carry out its critical role, and particularly when it comes to maintaining access to information and protecting GAO's independence?
Yeah. First, I would say Congress's support in us getting access to the information we need to do our work is absolutely critical. And take impoundments, for example. We worked with Congress a few years ago to create a statutory requirement for OMB to list the apportionments that they were making to the individual agencies to be visible about, okay, how much is appropriated, how much has been apportioned. That will tell you that it's in play to be obligated and spent. OMB took down that website. And despite Congress writing bipartisan requests, OMB did not put that website back up until there was a court case and the court ordered them to do it.
Yeah.
It's still not fully disclosing everything that we think it needs to do. OMB has not been cooperating with us and giving us information to deal with impoundments. We're getting a lot of our information from digging through court cases and sworn testimony. So we need more support for access. And the way to do it, the only effective tool Congress has, in my opinion, has worked over decades, is the appropriation process to fence money, to condition money, on condition of providing GAO the access that it needs.
Yeah. Well, the access is really important. It's key to your independence, obviously. And that was going to be the whole issue of impoundment and information from OMB was going to be my next question. Because for those who don't know, according to recent reporting, you stated, as you just did now, that GAO has had difficulty getting information from OMB, and as a result has to rely on evidence from lawsuits filed against the current administration by other parties. But here's the thing, the D.C. Court of Appeals ruled in August that grantees lacked the ability to sue the administration over impoundment, adding that instead the Comptroller General may bring suit as authorized under the Impoundment Control Act. That puts you guys in a really tough position because OMB isn't providing your office with the information it needs, so you have to rely on evidence from lawsuits, but you're the ones who are now told you're the only ones who can sue. So now really you're being told by the court the only way you can get the information that we all need to function is to sue OMB. And that strikes me as ridiculous. So what other things, you've talked about the appropriations process. Are there statutory changes we could make so that others could sue OMB if they're not getting the grants that have been appropriated? Or what other things could we do in addition to the appropriations?
Yeah. I think effective oversight hearings are really important to be able to have people explain why they're not giving us the information that they need. Writing letters, providing support. But the only thing I've found that's effective is the money.
Yeah.
I mean, the money. If you don't condition the money on this thing, they're not going to take it seriously.
Well,
But oversight is important, and I wouldn't underestimate the transparency of making this publicly known.
Right.
That people are not doing it. But on the laws, see,
Yeah.
we don't read the law the same way as the court interpreted it, but that's a difference.
Right, which you still are caught up in a litigation process as opposed to a governing process.
Litigation is a tool. I consider it last resort. It's not very efficient
No,
or
it's terrible.
effective.
Yeah.
And it does not put us in a position to provide timely assistance to the Congress. Congress wants timely assistance.
So I would suggest that might be something we all look at. Who has the authority if OMB is stonewalling to go to court, and whether that would, and it shouldn't, I think, just be GAO. I want to get to one other issue. Congress and the administration need to do more to crack down on criminals who scam Americans out of their hard-earned money and who fraudulently steal taxpayer dollars from the federal government. Globally, the scam industry is now costing the global economy more than the illicit drug trade. It's over $1 trillion a year now. So GAO has found that federal efforts to combat scams and fraud are fragmented, with multiple agencies pursuing their own initiatives, but no clear government-wide approach. In your duplication reports, GAO has previously pointed to performance management tools such as the government-wide priority goals as mechanisms to promote cross-agency collaboration. How can Congress best ensure that the federal government treats scams as an urgent cross-cutting challenge rather than multiple disconnected efforts?
Yeah, we issued a more recent report in April this year recommending that the FBI lead a coordinated government-wide effort to deal with scams. They agreed. They've started doing it. They put a working group together in October. They're going to identify some gaps in the law that need corrected to give them more strength. You could also use the cross-cutting agency priority goals to hold them accountable. But the process is underway. I'm very pleased on how they've responded. And Congress could support that, work with them, try to encourage them to provide ideas to Congress on statutory changes that would help close loopholes and give them stronger tools.
I appreciate that. And with my colleagues' indulgence for just one more second, there's one, I'm forgetting which country it is, but they have a centralized way for people to report scams. And because it's centralized, they're able to trace the scams sometimes within a few hours and shut them down. So there's real work we could do on that, I think, too, especially when it comes to scamming government. Thanks.